Well, we're back again with another No Fluff analysis, and this time we'll be going over the Part 2 Summer Showcase, a Crescendo of Courage. This showcase will be running from the 13th of August until the 23rd of August UTC. Let's get straight to it. Our first adventure on this showcase is the 5-star light bow Summer Cleo, the Beach Belle. Her first skill is Parasol Shot. It deals light damage to a target of nearby enemies, inflicting paralysis. It also has extra shots equal to the number of buffs Cleo has. This caps at a maximum of 4 extra shots. Cleo's second skill is Tropical Breeze, which is a 10-second buff to Cleo and her nearby allies. This grants 5% strength, 3% crit rate, 10% skill damage, and 10% skill gauge fill rate, which will all count as separate buffs for Parasol Shot. Being a bow unit, Summer Cleo has the Skill Haste co-ability. In terms of other abilities, she has Paralysis, Skill Haste plus 10%. So what this means is that every time Cleo inflicts paralysis on an enemy, she gains 10% Skill Haste for 20 seconds. The effect has a 5-second cooldown, though in practice it's really gated by how often you can use Parasol Shot. Summer Cleo also has Curse Resist and Paralyzed Punisher, making her deal 30% extra damage to enemies that have paralysis. Overall, Summer Cleo is looking to be a very strong unit, and would probably play very similarly to Gala Cleo. Her Curse Resist points her towards a future High Zodiac release, and also makes her suitable for the current event fight. Although I do believe a large proportion of Cleo's contribution to DPS is also based on her ability to buff her team. Being a bow unit, she might have to position herself weirdly in order to, say, buff melee units, and in a High Zodiac fight I'm not entirely sure how people will be clumped together. However, for a fight like Mercurial Gauntlet where all the teammates are AI, then it should be fairly simple to ensure that the buff lands on all your teammates. Next up on the showcase we have the 5-star Shadow Staff, Summer Verica, the Beach Beauty. Verica's first skill is Everlasting Summer, which is a small heal and 15 seconds of regen, and it also cleanses blindness. Verica's second skill is Moment of Passion, granting all teammates HP restoration equal to 5% of their damage dealt for 30 seconds. This skill gradually charges up and is not affected by your attacks, however it is affected by skill prep. Being a staff unit, Verica has the Recovery Potency co-ability. In terms of other abilities, she has an extra 20% recovery potency at full hit points, blindness resist, and then another flat 13% recovery potency. Overall, it looks like Summer Verica has a massive amount of healing. Her blindness resist and Everlasting Summer, her skill 1 removing blindness, also points her towards the light Imperial Onslaught. The huge amount of healing here should mean that, well, I think Summer Verica will end up being a very good healer to put in as an AI healer. I'm trying to think about whether or not Void Jan also inflicts blindness, but either way, I don't really think healers are really used for that content at the moment. Most runs that I've done recently have really been Ieyasu, Gala Cleo, that kind of thing. No healers most of the time. Although despite that, I think looking at her massive healing output, you might be able to use her as a healer for autoing Imperial Onslaught. If you don't happen to have, say, normal Verica or Hildegard, then she could be a very versatile healer for you to use for all your runs. Anyway, going along with the showcase, next up we have the 5-star Light Dragon, Popstar Siren. Popstar Siren grants 40% strength at maximum unbind, and she also has the Exhilaration ability. Exhilaration grants an extra 3 seconds of shapeshift time for the whole team, although this bonus caps at about 5 seconds. About 5 seconds? Exactly 5 seconds. However, the interesting thing is Popstar Siren's skill, Invigorating Harmony, which grants 20 seconds of 20% strength and defense buffs and plus 3 energy. However, there's more. This skill can be recharged one time by attacking. So what this means is that this is the first dragon whose skill can be recharged after it's been used. As you see in the showcase video, it's fairly simple. You transform into Siren, you use the skill once, and then you attack a few times and charge it once again, and then use the skill again. You'll also notice that the charge is fast enough so that you actually have overlapping buffs, which means there's a short period where you have plus 40% strength. If you happen to have any light adventurers with double buff, say Rosen, maybe not Rosen, I mean Rosen has double buff, but it's healing double buff. Anyway, in terms of light adventurers, Fritz has 8% strength double buff, but for everyone else she could stick on some worm prints like Valiant Crown, First Rate Hospitality, Sisters of the Anvil maybe? But yeah, if you have those running on your adventurers and you happen to stack a bunch of strength buffs, then yeah, that could be pretty crazy for just a short period of time. Still, even without the double buff, I think the plus 20% strength to the whole team for 20 seconds, twice per transformation, is a pretty hefty bonus, and I think that might actually outweigh the loss of 20% strength from the standard dragon aura. I'm not entirely sure. Well, compared to Cupid anyway. Anyway, moving swiftly onwards, next up on the showcase we have the 4-star Light Axe, Summer Luca, the Prankster in Paradise. Summer Luca's first skill is Floaty Spin, which deals damage to enemies at a line, and makes Luca a bit dizzy afterwards. Summer Luca's second skill is Summer Spirit, granting +1 energy and 20% attack rate for 10 seconds. The showcase video shows him getting +2 energy, but there's also some fine print there, and I'll get to that in a second. Being an axe unit, Luca has the Defense Co ability. In terms of other abilities, he's got 70% hit points or over, giving him 10% strength, having Curse Resist, and also Extra Energy 1. So what this means is that he has a 40% chance of gaining an extra point of energy whenever his energy level is increased. Overall, looking at the DPS simulations, Summer Luca doesn't seem to be doing too poorly. In fact, he's one of the best 4-star units barring Odetta, although Odetta on that DPS chart is rather monstrous. Well, the DPS chart also assumes that Odetta buffs all her teammates every single time, but we know that's not realistic. Summer Luca is also the first Light Axe unit to have full Curse Resist naturally, so this points him towards High Zodiac and also the current summer event. Moving swiftly onwards, we have the Worm Prints, which, while not part of the banner, are still added in the same update, so I talk about them anyway. The 5-star print we see added with this showcase is Seaside Princess, which at full hit points grants you 15% strength and 22% crit damage. Being a print that comes out with the event, it also grants you plus 150% hype, although that's not really important here. While the full hit point bonuses are generally pretty unreliable in normal fights, in Mercurial Gauntlet I think this will become the new best in slot print for a lot of adventurers. For adventurers that aren't buffers like Alazan, Melody, then I think this print will probably end up becoming the one that you use by default for Mercurial Gauntlet. This print is also very similar to Evening of Luxury, although, well, they both have the same princess on the print, so who knows, maybe it's planned. Anyway, next up. 4-star print added with this showcase is the Bustling Hut, which grants light units 7% skill haste and a universal 8% strength double buff. Being an event print, it also comes with plus 100% hype. I think this print will synergize really well with anyone that uses, say, Popstar Siren, or anyone else that has a bunch of double buffs. Who knows, if you get Ryozen with skill haste and having strength double buff and everyone else has strength double buff, then who knows, maybe Ryozen's the new buffer somehow. Ryozen is pretty bad though, so don't take that too seriously please. Well, bad in terms of DPS, as a unit he's okay, I guess, although we don't really rely on defensive units that much nowadays. Moving on, we have the 5-star event print, Surfing Siblings, which grants you, at 70% hit points or above, an extra 22% critical damage. However, that's the only buff that it comes with besides the plus hype bonus. And then last up we have the old content with a rate up. For this banner we have Fleur, the 4-star Light Dagger, and Unicorn, the 4-star Light Dragon, granting a hit point bonus. Overall, I think the power level of this banner is quite good, and you won't be disappointed if you pull any of the 5-star units, or even 4-star Summer Luca. Although I think people are quite divided on Cleo getting another ult after her Gala appearance. I think some of Erica's massive healing output would make her a very good pull for new players as well if they're looking for a universal healer for all the Imperial Onslaughts. Or at least to auto them. Personally, as always, I'm going to hoard my Wormite and tickets and whatever, because I think there's the anniversary event that's looking to come up in about a month and a half. So I'm fairly certain that something big's going to happen around then, so I'm saving my summons for that moment. But until then, thank you very much for watching, and I wish you luck in your upcoming pulls.